Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user Lovely Picture. Am I the a-hole for marrying my brother's ex-wife and considering adopting his child after he abandoned both of them? I, 28 male, have been dating my brother's ex-wife, 30 female, for the past 3 years. My brother married her 8 years ago, and when she got pregnant, he didn't want the child and wanted to force her to terminate her pregnancy. She didn't want to, so he just divorced her that same year and gave up all his rights. My then sister-in-law was devastated. She was a single mother, but my brother still pays alimony and child support. To give you all more context, we are all childhood friends and lived in the same neighborhood. I don't know what she saw in him that she accepted to marry him so early. My brother is a piece of crap. He bullied me as well, and he is my parents' golden child after all. Anyway, I supported my sister-in-law and friend throughout her pregnancy and helped my nephew as well. He never saw his father cause that piece of crap never met him. So 3 years ago, we started dating, we never told any of our family members, and I moved in with her. We avoided telling anyone to not create any problems. However, a week ago my brother came to his ex's place and he was shocked to see me there. He asked me what I'm doing here, and we had no choice but to tell him the truth. He became furious with me, he hit me and started screaming at me about how could I do this to him. After a bit of a fight, he said he came here to reconnect with his ex and become a part of his child's life, but that he didn't know that I was scumbag enough to do this to him. My now girlfriend told him to leave and that she doesn't want to do anything with him. He screamed at both of us and called us lovely names. In the end, we both threatened to call the cops if he didn't leave, so he finally left. Now, all my family members, my mom, my dad, and my grandparents are saying I shouldn't have had such a relationship with my brother's ex, that I am scum and they are ashamed of me. They all tell me that I should break up with her so my brother can be with his wife and child and I'm an obstacle. I said to them that we were going to tell them soon and planning to get married this year or early in 2025. And they called me names and threatened to cut contact with me and said that they won't attend the wedding. My girlfriend is saying to not mind them and we will get married even if it's just 2 of us and to report my brother for what he did. So, am I the a-hole for doing this? No, OP, I don't think you're the a-hole. Sure, it sounds kinda weird that she's your ex-sister-in-law, but the fact is she's been a friend of yours since you were a child. I would assume you've had feelings for her for a while now. Your brother abandoned her when she got pregnant, he divorced her, and he gave up all his rights. Now he wants to come back and she's just supposed to take him in and everybody's okay with this? F them. No, OP. You guys love each other and you guys want to marry each other. That's as big as the conversation about this whole topic should be. Nobody gets to have a say or nobody gets to make you do something you guys don't want to do. And whatever your mom, your dad, or your grandparents are saying, they can shove it. They want to cut you off, they are ashamed of you, they won't go to the wedding. Fine. Bye-bye then. And to your brother, I would definitely file a police report for assault and if possible get a restraining order. Additionally, I might look into getting a job for both of you somewhere else so maybe you guys can move and have a fresh start at life leaving all this mess behind. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? How would you go about it and what is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. No Thanks 9802 says, so you help and support the woman and child your brother abandoned, but you're the scum? Yeah, it's time to go low contact or no contact with every family member that thinks this. Also, what the F is your brother thinking? Coming back after all this time, ignoring his responsibilities and having his fun and thinks things are just going to go back the same? Yeah, you can tell he was the golden child and can do no wrong, not the a-hole. And OP responds, no, I'm not a scum for helping her and her kid. They knew about it. I'm a scumbag because I'm in a relationship with her and adopting her kid, which I shouldn't have done in their words. She is not just my brother's ex, she's also my childhood friend and I fell for her and we did what we did and they are angry at us now. The Crown and Anchor says, if you were assaulted, press charges. As for your family, you had to know they were going to disown you over this decision, so just move on without them. Beyond that, have your girlfriend's lawyer send your brother a letter explaining that he gave up his parental rights and that he has no legal right to be in his child's life. He'll probably petition the courts to end child support and alimony, so just be prepared for that, not the a-hole. And OP responds, oh, I should have mentioned this. Where I'm from and the laws I know about after consulting, if I marry her, he won't need to pay alimony and child support if I adopt my nephew. So my girlfriend came up with a devious plan that we will hold on to adopting and making him pay child support and other necessary funds which is required in future and fight for what he did to her and what he did to me. But I think of just letting it go and we will cut them all off if there's no other way and move on with our life. And Devoted Red says, not the a-hole, and there's no reason to wait until they cut you off. Go no contact with them now. You already know you can't trust them with the most important aspects of your life, so they're not worth any effort or consideration. And OP responds, I just thought I would be able to keep my relationship with my family. That's why I didn't go no contact or reported my brother. Additional information from OP's comments. Just to be clear, we are getting married no matter what. I was just hoping that there would be a way for us to maintain a relationship of son and grandson. Even if he is the golden child, they shouldn't break their relationship with their son and grandson. That's what I believe, at least. If there's no way to get this, I'll just cut them off myself. And I really don't know if my brother changed his mind or my parents have been trying to persuade him to reconnect with his son. He abandoned them and gave up his rights years ago. He probably hoped he would be able to avoid child support. He couldn't. He pays alimony and child support. However, he just showed up at my girlfriend's place, was shocked to see me, beat me, and left after screaming, and we are discussing what we should do next, which is why I'm here asking for opinions. So the majority of the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole, and most were recommending that he press charges against his brother and just simply go no contact with his family who thinks he's scum. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. First off, thanks to all of the majority of the people for their support and kind opinions. There were also some who threatened me, saying if it were them, I'd be 6 feet under, or that there are some people I shouldn't mess with. Or I shouldn't put my hands on someone's wife or blood, bro. He did that himself. He abandoned both of them. And before she was my brother's ex-wife, she was my best friend. Coming back to the update, there's nothing much to say. Yesterday we sat down and called my family and talked to clear things up. It was my girlfriend who talked to them, and she said even if we both don't get married, there is no chance that she will be with my brother or allow him to meet her kid, no matter what. And that it isn't up to him to decide for her what she can and she can't do. My family and brother kept trying to convince her to give my brother a chance to be a dad and husband. And after a lot of yapping, my future wife said no, she already has found another man and there isn't much he can do to stop her. Then my brother started threatening me because he knew I was listening. I didn't even say much. He said I went too far and started saying nasty things. My girlfriend just cut him off and told him to never contact any of us ever again. So now we have decided that we are going to file a complaint in the morning and move somewhere else near her parents or to her parents' place. If I marry her, he won't need to pay alimony, but he will be required to pay child support unless I adopt her son. So we decided to forget about money and going with marriage and adoption. We don't care about vengeance or money, we just want to live our life in peace and without any drama. I'll never talk to my family or have any contact with them, even if I or any of them die, cause F them. I choose my best friend. I helped her as her friend, but we fell in love, so there's that. No more drama if I don't have parents or brothers, right? I'll just disown myself, change my name or whatever the way it is to go the legal way. Well, it'll be good for you for not choosing any vengeance or any kind of money legal scheme or anything. Just leave all that mess and drama behind and you both can move on with your lives. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. And now, let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I Wrong? And it's by user AggravatingBrick838. Am I wrong for changing my friend's baby's diaper without their permission? One of my longest friends, Mike, 24 male, just had a baby with his fiancée, Karen, 26 female. I was over his place on his day off. He has two sons. One is 6 and the other is almost 1 year old. I see them all the time when I go over. I feel like an uncle. I have 5 siblings and I'm the second oldest. I also used to work at a daycare too, so I'm not new to changing diapers and dealing with children. Now, Karen wasn't there while I came to visit. I noticed that their 1 year old needed their diaper changed and I mentioned it to my friend Mike. He said, yeah, and just sat back to continue to talk about whatever we were talking about. While he's talking, time goes by almost an hour and the kid's diaper is hanging off of him. I again mentioned this to Mike and he just says he thinks that Karen is supposed to be here by now. I asked where the diapers and baby wipes were and he told me where they were and also watched me change his son's diaper while he continued talking to me. This is when I noticed that his son also had a diaper rash. Anyway, Karen comes back about 30 minutes after I changed him. Before I left, I let her know that her son looked like he has a diaper rash and her face slowly went from disturbed to enraged. She ran over to Mike and I'm thinking maybe she's upset because of the diaper rash. Mike comes out and tells me that I should leave and he will call me later. So later, I get a long text from his wife telling me that I'm not welcome over anymore and I had no right to violate that boundary. She also says that she feels what I did was concerning and she might report me. I call Mike and next thing you know, he's telling me that I didn't have the right to change his son's diaper without his permission and that they will need time to cool down. Now I feel disturbed that they don't trust me, like a complete creep and honestly embarrassed to mention this to anyone else. Wow, OP, this sounds like a mess. I mean, Mike sounds like a crappy parent and a crappy friend. You told him his kid needed a diaper change and he just ignored it with a yeah and kept talking. Then he ignored you again and told you that Karen would be there. So you just did what the best thing for that kid was to get a diaper changed. And you did it in front of him. I honestly do not understand whatever Karen was talking about, like a boundary, like you did something that you shouldn't have done. You helped their kid out. They should have said thank you. And now Mike acting all offended like you crossed some boundary. He should have been the one to change his kid's diaper, not his friend. And you did it right in front of him. So if he had a problem, he should have said something right there. So no, OP, I don't think you're wrong. However, I would be worried about Karen reporting you. Be very careful with that and see if you can get in front of it. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? What would you do? Let me know in the comments section. And now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Lori2345 says, you're not wrong. You did have Mike's permission. He didn't need to say it explicitly. He told you where the diapers and wipes were and watched you change the diaper. He clearly wanted you to do it. It sounds like he probably lied to his wife about you doing it behind his back and didn't mention that you had told him about the diaper and that it had been an hour and he still wouldn't change it. You should tell her the truth. No Scarcity 8249 says, tell her the truth about the situation. She should actually be angry at your deadbeat neglectful friend. Tell him, hey a-hole, you left your kid in a crappy diaper for an hour and his ass was on fire. I tried to help for the sake of your neglected baby and now I'm the a-hole? Should I have called the Department of Children and Family Services instead? F you. Forward it to her and call it a day. He's not a friend. He sat there and watched you like an a-hole. And Striking Koala 7761 says, no, definitely not wrong. Mike was not only being negligent, he didn't even say boo in your defense. He sounds like not only a crappy dad, but a no-spine acquaintance. And I mean acquaintance, cause he's clearly not your friend. Oh, and he probably knew his wife would give him crap for not doing it, so easier to let you look like a creep. Not the a-hole, but please take your distance. So the community agrees that OP is not wrong, but they also think that Karen doesn't have the whole story and of course that Mike is a piece of crap friend. So now let's move on to the update to see how the story ends. I want to thank everyone for the advice I was given. I reached out to Mike, no longer my friend, to go over what happened and have text messages between Mike and me retracing everything that happened, such as me notifying him that his son needed his diaper changed and his son's soiled diaper, which at that point was soaking with feces along with his onesie. He texted that he didn't notice it was that bad. I actually did point it out as I was changing his diaper, and he just said, "Oh, okay," quickly and went straight back to our conversation. He said that since I insisted on changing the diaper, he didn't stop me, but he did not ask me to do it or give me permission to change the diaper, and it was my choice. He also got offended, told me he's not going to allow me to make him feel like a bad parent for wanting to change one effing diaper, and that he was going to do it before I asked him where the diapers were. I told him that Karen's reaction doesn't sound like she understands what happened at all. I asked him to let me speak with Karen or ask her to unblock me so that I could explain to her, or I'd have to contact the Department of Children and Family Services. Side note, Karen blocked me after she sent me her message. Anyway, he got mad and sent me a voice memo about how I'm blowing this out of proportion and all I had to do was just let things cool off. I told him that I'm not going to ignore this because she literally threatened to report me. That's just not something I could ignore. He kept saying that she wasn't going to report me, but I was not about to take that chance. He stopped responding to me, but shortly after, Mike's sister reached out to me, let's call her Michaela, 31 female, and asked for my side of the story. She was on my side immediately and got upset on my behalf, and the fact Mike left her nephew in a messy diaper for an hour. She said that she knew that when she heard from Karen that I took her son alone in the house somewhere and brought him back with a changed diaper and his onesie missing, that the story didn't add up. She got Karen to unblock me and put us on a three-way call this morning, and at first Karen had an attitude with me. But when I sent her the screenshots of me and Mike's conversation and I explained step by step what happened, she just went silent and said she'd call me back. She later called me back and apologized through tears, letting me know that she heard an entirely different story from Mike when she was asking him questions. He made it seem like he had no idea that I changed his diaper and I must have just took him somewhere when he wasn't paying attention. She said that she's been stressed out, driving hours back and forth to take care of her grandmother in hospice care, being there for her mom, and coming home to clean, cook, and be a mom to her kids. Yesterday, she said she didn't eat anything at all, and it was just a very stressful day for her, so I'm changing her alias from Karen to Kelly. Kelly said that it's not a problem that I changed her son's diaper, and that she initially ran to Mike because since he's there and I'm a guest, why would I have even changed his diaper in the first place? And that when he told her that he had no idea, that's when her mind starting to race as why I would take her son somewhere to change him. So yeah, Mike threw me under the bus to avoid getting nagged. She apologized again and said she'd have a talk with Mike. I think I'm okay, but I'm truly appalled that Mike would do something like this to me after all the times that I've been there for him. I would ruin my entire day if that meant he could have a better day because he was like a brother to me. I have a feeling that he will call me soon, so I'm blocking his number. I'm thankful to Michaela and she's been reading all of your comments here as well, so give her praise. Thank you all. Well, Opie, at least you don't have that crappy friend anymore because it took one crappy diaper for him to show his true colors, and what he did, man, he could have ruined your life. That sucks. So good for you for getting rid of him. And also great for Michaela that she was able to give you that chance to clear everything up with Kelly. So on that note, take care, Opie, and thank you for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.